Ah, Mr. Tom.
Yes.
I heard that you love tea as me as well.
Yeah, I love tea so much. It's my
What?
favorite drink.
Why do you love tea?
Well, tea is love to me
Yeah.
because I've loved tea since I was young.
Mm.
So when I was young, I lived with my grandma back in Gicumbi district near Gatuna border.
Yeah.
So whenever I asked for something to drink, whenever I said I was thirsty, he would offer me tea.
You had that?
So I grew up drinking tea, and I kept loving it, whether it's cold, whether it's hot. I love tea and I enjoy it.
Hey lovers, how are you doing? It's your boy Silva. Today I bring you another episode for the Creative Soul Show. As you saw, today we have Tom in the house. But apart from Tom, like who do you really are?
Well, many people know me as Tom, especially the young generation, my friends and colleagues. But my real name is Patrick Nzawanima. Tom is just a nickname, but it just got us back to be known by many people. So I'm a creative writer. I write different things, including poetry, including fiction, including non-fiction. I'm also a journalist, and I'm the founder and country coordinator of Writers Space Africa, which is a community of Rwandan writers who are determined to enhance their skills, network, and collaborate.
Wow, like it's a mind-blowing like to hear all those professions for a young person like you. Like, how did you realize that you can do all those things? Writing, being a poet, being a journalist. Like, you can take us through the journey maybe in the early age to how like you realized you can have those talents.
For me, I really didn't know that I could write since I was when I was young. I remember that my dreams were to become a footballer. So, yeah, I love to play football. I was playing with other little kids, so I was really good. I sometimes scored the goals. I would be a goalkeeper sometimes. So my dream when I was like 8 was to become a footballer. So as I grew up, when I was like 9 or 10, I wanted to become a singer.
A singer?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I've been loving, watching Tom Cruise, watching Mehdi singing and other. And
shout out to those legends.
Yeah. And Chris Brown. I was like, hey, I want to be an artist.
Yeah.
I want to be a musician so that, I can be like these people. So I went to O-level. I did my O-level at a school called Collège d'Orchatides in Gicumbi district. So while there, we're learning English, and there are things we call compositions, where you write kind of an essay, talking about a topic. That is when I started to realize that I could write. I started loving writing and reading some books, because we had some books, but they were for just learning materials. You read those texts, those dialogues. That's when I started like writing some forms of things with many words.
Yeah, like essays and.
So when I went to A-level, I went to electricity. So
wow, different.
Yeah, it was different. Like, and the fun fact here is that I actually wanted to do something related to literature, history, but I have many friends, and we were like a gang group. We had to, and then they were all requesting these technical things: mechanical, electricity, electronics, and telecommunication. And I wanted to take electronics and telecommunication.
It was like a trend.
Yeah, it was like a trend. And I wanted to take electronics and telecommunication. And then one guy just came in and said, Man, in electronics and telecommunication, there are a lot of maths.
Yeah.
Go in electricity, there's no math.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, maybe there are only physics. So I went for electricity, but it was disappointing because the first lessons we had in the class was math. And I was like, and every other option they were also learning math, so I had to. So I did electricity. But while there, the school wasn't really into literature things, reading books, or even debates. There were no such kind of things. So my writing spirit kind of disappeared. So I was only into technical things.
Yeah.
So I graduated in high school and went to IPRC Kigali to also pursue electrical and electronics things. But while there, I joined a club called it's called Gavo Club. So Gavo Club, it's part of Toastmasters group. Club, which helps people to. It's more about public speaking and leadership skills. That's what they normally work on. So while there, I met some people there. So I connected with them. Yeah. But while also I was using social media so much, not like in these days where I rarely use them. Yeah. But so I met a lady on Facebook called Malaika. It's called Anje Malaika.
Shout out to Anje Malaika.
Anje Malaika, we connected so on Facebook, and then we chatted, and then we exchanged numbers. So we started texting on WhatsApp too. And then I saw her posting something on her status, and I loved it. I didn't know it was a poem, but you see how someone posts a poem, on a picture, and you read it, you feel like, oh,
this is good.
This is good. And I asked it, maybe this is a poem. I was like, maybe this is a poem. So I loved it. I was like, And I kept chatting with Malaika.
Which year maybe?
It was in 2018. Yeah, it was in 2018. I remember she was still in high school and I was at the college, so we chatted about that, and then she told me I'm studying literature at my school, so we do poetry. Yeah, I didn't tell her, but I was into it. I started loving it. I remember the first time the first poem I tried to write was, I reflected her poem. Like I was like trying to write like her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to write like, hey, what is this thing? I love it. Let me just write my other thing.
Do you remember the name? The name of that poem?
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember it, but it was quite impressive, I would say. Yeah. So I grew up to love them, and then I shared it with her. She was like, oh, this is good. You have to keep up. Yeah. So I kept writing other poems. In the morning I would wake up, write a poem. Yeah. Go back, write a poem, go back. So I started making it like a culture to write. So through I was in second year, and then I went to third year. And then Malaika, he means a lot in my life, in my literature journey, because the connections were direct, but they kind of reflect to her. So he connected me with a lady from Kenya called Tracy, and then he told me there's a group called Writers Space Africa. So that they help writers to to improve their skills. So I joined, and then while joining there, they had a call for a residency. It was called Pen African Writers Residency. They were calling for second edition. The first edition took place was for West Africa and North Africa, but this one was going to be for East Africa and Central Africa. So in Rwanda was included. So I sent in my entry. I remember it was my very first short story that I sent. It was non-fiction. It wasn't a short story, it was just a story, a non-fiction story. So I sent it as a submission. So after some time, they said my submission was successful. So, and I had to prepare to go for residency. So I was very, very happy. Like, oh, this is my first story, and then it comes with an opportunity. So
what was the name of the story?
The story was called.
It's okay if you don't remember.
I don't remember it well.
But because it seemed like really interesting, because something winning on the first time and go viral in the international level.
Yeah, it was kind of the parents of a character were kind of fighting.
Yeah.
So and they were living in a ghetto, and then it was quite like the character telling us about her parents.
Yeah.
So they were fighting, they were not good at each other, and then that was affecting the character. So the story was basically about, that's what I remember about the story.
Yeah.
So
Which was the year when you went to?
It was in 2019. I submitted in 2019, but we went for residency in March 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah, when COVID was around the corner. So we went there in Nairobi, so we went through the residency, but it was organized by African Writers Development Trust, and among the partners was Writers Space Africa Kenya, WSAK. So I was part of So while there, they were the ones organizing the facility we were using, providing some photography things, some lectures, you know, and I found and I saw how they were organized. They were very organized. They had camera people. They were training each other on writing.
Yeah.
And I was like, why not starting this? Something like sort of this in Rwanda. So after the residency, I have acquired some skills, basically in writing short stories and some skills about poetry. It was about creative nonfiction and some fiction and also poetry. So unfortunately, we didn't finish the residency because of COVID.
Yeah.
So COVID came when we had 5 other days to finish. So we had to take a flight before they could cross the borders. Yeah. So I came here and I kept thinking about it when I was during lockdown. So when I started thinking about it, it was more of how do I start this? You know, I only knew a few people who write. They were like, I remember it's Divine and Annie Minganzima. They were the only people I could think of, like, these are the writers. So I started drafting if we are going to create a group, because we are going to do things on WhatsApp, online. So in WhatsApp, I was most active on WhatsApp. Yeah. And include also Writers Space Africa was also operating on WhatsApp most of the time. So I was like creating like a subgroup to this group.
To the African group.
Yeah, to the African group.
Yeah.
So I started drafting the schedule. Like on Monday we do this. Because something I have found with WhatsApp groups is that you would be added in a group and then you'll go silent, and then because I belong to other group of WhatsApp groups of different artists, but they were there. They were for artists, but not especially for writers. So and those for writers were either dormant or not operating at all. Yeah. So I was like, I have some skills. So to be honest, I started the group just to share my knowledge, what I have acquired in the
Through the
residency.
residency.
So I just wanted to share with. I couldn't think I could think of the Vin and Yani, so I'm going to add them. You know, just share. And I remember there was another group called. It was for art. It's called For Art.
Love for art.
Yeah.
I think I
It
remember.
came also in lockdown.
Yeah.
So I just shared the link there and said people who are writers who want to join us, community of writers, looking forward to learn from each other, network and collaborate. If you want to join us, you can join us. So I remember a few other people joined, like 6. So we started following the schedule. Monday was poetry, short story on Tuesday, and then to Sunday. So they would share the stories, and I would give critiques. Like I would tell them, I think you can change this. I think you can improve this. If you do this, this may be better than doing this. So that's at first when we started, I was doing it alone. Like, I was the only one who were giving critiques because others seemed not knowledgeable about this literary genre, whether poetry, whether short stories. So then people they started to love it, and then we shared also on Twitter. We had other writers coming in, they joined us. We shared on Facebook, we had others, and those that joined, they also brought others. So and as time came, so I saw it growing, like becoming bigger, like people loving it, coming telling me, oh, this is actually helping me. I was just like kind of isolated because it was even in lockdown. They were kind of isolated, so they come read poems of others and try to write their own, and find that as a solace, as something they wanted. So that's why they started to invite others. So they came in. It became like more of a big group there.
Big movement.
So I was giving critiques alone, and now around like 20 can give critiques to a certain piece. So others are still in the learning process, but they know because we have hosted different workshops for this channel, whether poetry, short stories, different literary genre, we have been talking about them. And the other thing I have to mention is that we grew not just to become a writing group, but also a family. Because the members have become some are just too close. The writing connected them. They visit each other. When someone has a wedding, they go there. They visit each other. When you have some problems, we try to find out how we can help you. So that's about my journey.
It is really an interesting, impressive, and inspiring journey. Because to be honest, I can't imagine how you started through all those struggles and through the COVID-19, and you found out doing something big like writer space. Because for what I understand is that you inspire more people. As you said, it's now a family. So I can wonder, did you ever maybe in your childhood, because you told us when you were in the secondary school, in the IPRC, how you were really interested in the literature, how you joined the clubs, and were you really thinking about creating something that can inspire anyone maybe out there who can be inspired with what you do, or share with us your leadership inspiration from early age?
Honestly, I didn't think of that. I just wanted to just improve my skills. I went to Gavo Club just to before in my early ages I was very shy, so I couldn't speak in public, so I went to the club to kind of express myself in public.
Yeah.
So that was my goal. I didn't go there to create something big. So the spark was when I went to that residency. I would say it's a paradigm shift to starting Writers Space Africa Rwanda. So when I was there, even though I have been good, I have been selected to be good. The writers I found there, they were on another level.
You was like, I'm scared.
Yeah, they were on another level. Like you see how my English was still like low.
Yeah.
And the way I used, I knew a few vocabularies to use in my stories. They were good with the good flow, and they were comics somehow because you would read them and smile and laugh.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's one of the things they loved about my story. That was unique.
Yeah.
So it wasn't about the I would say a more creative flair. Like you see these works that are more poetic, that conveys a lot of figurative language.
Yeah.
It wasn't about that. It was about the funny part of it, and how I was using simple words but still tell a great story.
It was like on the narrative side.
Yeah, on the narrative side, yeah. I was using simple words, but you know, people would, I'll tell a great story. So that's something they learned. But I figured out that I needed to learn more about how do I use figurative languages to, how do I increase my vocabulary. So I was like, if I had I had this opportunity to learn these things, and there might be other, and I knew there were other writers struggling like me. You know, I had an opportunity, so I thought of sharing. So my inspiration was just to share with others. So that was my intention. I didn't even think it could be a big thing. I just wanted to share with a few people, and then they know. And that was all. But I found out I didn't plan like it was going to be a big thing, so I just wanted to share what I had. So I came to realize that people needed it, especially young people. That's about the inspiration.
Yeah, so if you can share with us, like, if you see Writers Space Africa Rwanda, it's a Rwanda chapter, like you can share with us like how many like people or members who are in the group, and what exactly like what you do, because I think maybe you have some department, I don't know, maybe like you can take us, like give us a picture of what you do, like how you do it, if you expect any events in near days, and just give us the picture of the movement today and how you see it maybe in the future, the expectations.
So Writers Space Africa Rwanda, as I said, we started in April 2020. That's when we officially started. So currently our mission is to promote creative writing and the culture of reading by providing learning platforms to writers, and also connecting the art of writing with other different forms of art. That's our main mission. So what we do in our WhatsApp group, because we use it a lot, we have a schedule. So we schedule different literary genre that are in creative reading, creative writing. And like I would say on Monday we have poetry, you can share poetry. There's short stories on Tuesday, children literature and flash fiction, and then on Wednesday we give some poetry prompts. You know, we can task you to write a poem about something, about a theme, and tag you on the form we have. And also on Thursday you can share opportunities, articles, essays. And then on Friday we have a discussion about a topic. And then on Saturday we share some literary reviews. Those works we have been sharing during the week. We take time to review them so that the writer can see how valuable their pieces are, but also learn something on what they should improve to keep upskilling. And also, we also have hold meetings, you know, as people, we have been operating online since COVID, so we had to find a way to meet, physically. So, and the main thing we do in the group, which is helpful, is first of all to learn, because it's more of a learning platform. See, when you share your work, your literary work, whether a poem, whether a short story, whether any literary work, so you get critiques from other members. You know, imagine getting like 4 critiques on your work. You know, they tell you what you can change, the feedback, what you can improve. So that's something that helps a writer. I myself have grown my writing skills because of critiques. You know, I was given critiques from Writers Space Africa there. So, and that's something we are doing also in the Rwandan chapter. First thing is to learn. The second thing is to network. You know, you meet a lot of writers there. So, and most of them you share the vision with them. You know, they want to write. Like for now, around 6 members have published their books, and with the help of different other writers, and others are writing, including myself. We're still writing, and
we're waiting to read.
we are getting also help from other members. So another thing is about collaboration. So like in collaboration, like two people can pair and work on a piece. We have also worked on a collaborative book called Voices of Space.
Voices of Space.
So it was written by 44 of our members. They have pieces.
Can you believe that? 44 artists and one.
They have different pieces in the almanac. So it's a collection. They talk about mental health, love, motherhood, the art of healing, and other different themes. You know, it's a good collection where you can find various works, and reading it is more of reading the minds of 44 Rwandan young writers. So that I would say. So the things we work on are 3 main: learning, networking, and collaborating. So and moving forward, we are looking at ways to increase our visibility, whether online and offline. So we are growing our online visibility through social media. We also seek to start the websites, because writers without a website, it's really a challenging issue. So and also hosting events, you know, for us to interact with people physically, to meet other people, to share our talents to the public physically, because we've been sharing online most of our time, but since COVID is getting away, so we have to go physical. And also we keep on emphasizing on learning, because we are more of a learning platform, because the members who give testimonies say we help them to learn and get a family. So learning is critical to us, because we keep teaching. It's a daily work, because everything people are learning, people are sharing, they're getting feedback. You know, they can even come inbox, you know, to share feedback. So we have been hosting online workshops since we started, even during COVID. You know, that we have been hosting them, and we keep that because workshops are essential for learning for writers, and also looking forward to come up with workshops that are physical, so that it can facilitate those who like learning while meeting the facilitators. That's basically what we are working on.
So you sit there and you think your passions can't like inspire people. Hearing from the story of Tom, I can hear like a pushing. I don't even have words to define what I feel now, because you had him. You had him from ordinary level, the passion for literature and everything. Even himself, he didn't know that he can create a space like this. Today, when I have a conversation with different young writers or even poets who went through your platform, they tell me how the platform inspired them and how it really means a lot. As you say, it is a family, and so I encourage someone who can think that their passion is not like enough. My friend, you can ask Tom. You can ask Tom, because from your journey, I learned that like God gives us something that is bigger than ourselves.
Yeah.
If I can tell you, like, you didn't know what your love for literature can do, like can be big, as you say. You even like wanted to share maybe with 2 to 3 to 5 people maybe what you learned through the residence, and now you are, how many are you in the platform?
We are over 120. We are
120.
Yeah.
What? Can you believe that? He inspired more than 120
Yeah, and
writers.
not just me who inspire them, also other members inspire each
But
other.
who came with an idea from the residence?
I came with it.
Thank you. So means that that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And if I remember, you mentioned a thing about being a journalist.
Yeah.
Maybe we are now to the line of concluding our conversation. It was really good to hear from you, but we cannot let you go without telling us like how you became a journalist. Like take us through the journey of becoming a journalist.
Every time people ask me why I'm in journalism, well, it kind of came just, I don't know, because as I said, I did electrical and electronics engineering, but being a writer helped me to be in journalism. So I'm currently working with the New Times, and how I got there, so I just applied with others, so they were looking for people who are interested in storytelling and journalism. So I was more interested in storytelling because I write stories, I tell stories, so
it's literature as well.
Yeah. And I really thought they were just going to work on a project, maybe just a project. I went there, they interviewed me, but they were more asking me about things about journalism. So I knew some of the things about journalism, some of the ethics, Well, I passed the interview and then I got to journalism because they write, it's a newspaper, so it was just being introduced to a new form of writing, article writing, news, features, profiles. It didn't really take me much time to cope. So it was just like getting a form and then getting used to it. So to use it, it's been a year since I'm a journalist, and also while going to journalism, I didn't go away from my passions. I serve because my background is in technology, electrical engineering things. So I like to write articles about technology. But also not forgetting the creative industry. I write a lot of stories about creative industry because I belong to it. And I'm part of it. So I found journalism as a good way, as one of the good ways to serve these sectors. You can write about the issues that are evolving in these sectors, whether in technology, whether in creative industry, and that comes as form of advocacy.
Yeah.
You can also feature some of the interesting creatives and also upcoming or rising creatives. Feature them, give them a platform,
Yeah.
so that they can be seen, and also the public and the world knows that these people are there. They're doing this kind of thing. They are requesting this.
Yeah.
So I found it interesting because you also meet a lot of people, a lot of creatives. It's one of the, I'd say, field where you meet a lot of people, make connections. Even those people you wanted to reach out, maybe you couldn't find a way.
Yeah.
So it becomes kind of easier to interact with them. So yeah, that's more of how I joined.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a blessing to have you today in the Creative Social to learn from your journey. And dear audience, I can tell you, like as I said, prove to the world what you can do. You heard from Patrick. I'm not going to add anything. So as I always say, if you found this content interesting, please share with someone who can hear from this story and be inspired. Share the video and let people know. And also, to go to the part of Patrick, please tell people that there is a writer's space. Tell them to join. Tell them to join.
They can join us. We are open anytime, and we are also planning to reach out to them. But if you can see us, I'm here. You can join us.
You have like social media.
Yeah, we have social media. You can find us WSA Rwanda on all social media: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Our email is rwanda@writerspace.net. You can also email us if you want.
Yeah. If you didn't join, don't tell me that I didn't tell you. I did. So.
And thank you so much, Creative Soul, for hosting me. It's really a great pleasure.
We are happy for you to have you. And if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. We have a lot of content in the what? Let's see, just subscribe and hear what we have for you. So this is the Creative Social. See you in the next video.